Now we move west to the state of California, to the Puente project. Patricia McGrath and Felix Galaviz are here.
Over the years, so many programs for historically underrepresented students have sort of come and gone and fallen by the wayside, and so many of them such good programs. And Felix and I founded the Puente Project in 1981 in California, and we think that it's been sustained this long and has become stronger each year because of the innovation of the model. What we've done essentially is to integrate three areas that normally aren't brought together. One is the teaching of writing, second is academic counseling, and third is mentors from the professional community. And essentially, we've integrated local communities into the fabric of an academic program for underserved students. Now, the delivery system for the students is utterly dependent on the teacher, counselor, and mentor being able to work together collaboratively. And that's easier said than done. So we've designed a training program where we do three things. We train people in successful methods and practices in each of their areas. We work very hard to show them how to work collaboratively when they go back to their areas. And we prepare them to implement their programs so that they can literally bring about a change in their colleges and in their communities when they return. Now again, that's easier said than done. So when they're in the trenches and their needs emerge, we have ongoing training available for them so that they can work together to help each other solve problems and make their local programs stronger. The goal of Puente is to increase the number of underrepresented, underserved students transferring to universities and coming back to their communities and as leaders and mentors to new students. And the context for our results are that 7% of community college students in the United States transfer, and in Puente, 48% of the students who complete the program transfer. And I think what's interesting there is that historically our mission was to focus on Latinos until 1995. So most of our data is based on Latinos, and they have actually the lowest college-going rate in the United States.
Because of Puente's successful academic model, the program has been effectively replicated in 38 community colleges and in 21 high schools. The requests for participation in the program are increasing, and the California Community College Chancellor's Office would now like to see the program institutionalized in 75 community colleges. In fact, the Puente model has been the basis for many programs in community colleges looking for ways to increase the number of diversity in higher education. But ironically, Puente has grown even more after the passage of California's Proposition 209, which eliminated consideration for race, gender, and ethnicity in all its admission policies. However, California is looking for ways to ensure diversity and has identified Puente as a valuable resource for all of its UC9 campuses. The University of California wants and needs a student body that reflects the state population, of which Latinos are 1/3 of the population. Puente is contributing to the statewide efforts to create diversity in all of its institutions of higher education. I think the reason for Puente has been replicated in so many schools and colleges is because of the enormous support the community has been giving to the project statewide. Over the past 17 years, Puente has provided a sustained and meaningful way in which students can succeed in education. Thousands of community members participate in Puente in each year, either by volunteering to be mentors, participating in classroom activities, and hosting field trips to cutting-edge work sites. Through Puente, the community is not only demonstrating that it cares, but it also is building a future for its youth.
You ready to go to questions?
Yes.
You actually came in just under time. We're impressed. All right, questions. Yes, please, Jack.
The integrated instruction counseling system that you folks have pioneered has promised for more than just any single minority population. Do you have any knowledge of how that has affected junior college education in California generally for other groups? And any anecdotes or data to show reach beyond the Hispanic community?
Yes, I think in the beginning it was so unusual for English teachers to work with counselors that some of the colleges, Santa Ana College in California has adopted an entire freshman class where they have counselors working with other instructors in their programs for all freshmen. And we have a number of programs in California that have spun off certainly different parts of the program, but they for sure have united counseling with instruction, not always with English teachers, but sometimes with math teachers.
Lee?
Would you tell us a little bit about what kind of help you have been able to give to people who are trying to replicate your model, and what kind of help you think would be needed if it were to replicate beyond your own capacity to give the coaching and continuous technical assistance and whatever materials you may have?
Well, I think over the years we've given a number of presentations, whether they came through English groups or counseling groups or mentors from the community, and there are many professional groups. And I think that we've been able to talk to people for years about that and explain the model, and we've invited some to attend some of our workshops, but and the only way that I think we would feel comfortable about having them absolutely replicate this model is to participate in some of the training. Because the really difficult thing is to train people in working collaboratively. And once you get those roles down, then you can do that.
Ed?
I take it that part of the success of this program has to do with the sensitivity of the instructors, and particularly of the counselors and the mentors, to the cultures of the people they're serving. How is that going to be affected by your mandate now to desegregate the program?
That question has been coming up quite a bit, but I just want to say that one of the things that we've been is quite open right from the beginning. Puente has been open to all students and has been doing that. The Band-Aid has ironically helped with the Puente project in many, many ways, because what it has done is provide a model for many, many other groups of people to get involved in. We have now provided increasing support and training to all schools, all colleges, and we're getting more and more schools that are participating in the program because the components of the program are the most effective and are working together.
I'd like to answer something to that too. I think that all of the people in Puente represent all the different racial and ethnic groups in our country, and that everybody, if we can train people in using the methods that seem to work in the program, then the individuals can bring their own cultural twist to it.
David?
Your proposal, or your write-up, mentioned a cost-benefit study that said you got, for every dollar invested, the benefits were $8.33. Can you tell us a little bit about what those benefits are?
Well, I think that it was a graduate student at the University of California who conducted that study, and I think what she looked at were all of the costs that the students put into the program, all of the costs that the college puts into the program. Then she looked at what would happen with increased wages, the longer they stayed in school, how much money they would make, and worked out a fairly complicated system that way in terms of the benefits to the state of California.
Mayor Hatcher? Dick Hatcher, did you have a question? No, I don't. I have one quick question, and that is, in your presentation, or in the paper you submitted, you said California, where Latino students make up a third of the population, fewer than 1 in 25 Latino 10th graders will become eligible for the University of California.
Yes.
What does that mean, become eligible for the University of California?
It's very difficult now to get into the University of California. At Berkeley, And that was a stat that we had before some of the latest news has been out in Berkeley. Right now, the eligibility for Berkeley alone, and probably for UCLA, is a 4.09 grade point average, very high SATs. And for many, many students, it's impossible to get in there because they come from schools where they don't have the opportunities for the AP classes and the work that they need to get them the GPA that's that high.
And that's what you're trying to help overcome,
Well,
or change?
it's a very strange situation in California because as it's getting more and more difficult to get in, and then with the passage of 209, they want us to work harder and harder to increase the number of students eligible so that they can get a diverse population. It's difficult.
Patricia McGrath and Felix Galaviz, thank you very much.